so far it's been more treat than trick. Jerry Azuma, big hole up the middle. Azuma still on his feet inside the 25. A 72-yard kickoff return for the man who led the NFL a year ago.
That'll take your average up just a little bit.
Well, I'll tell you, at the end of that thing, Todd Peterson almost got killed. I'm not kidding you. Watch at the end of this thing. Watch number 2. Here he comes. He's in the background right here. Watch what happens to him. Boing.
Great return for the Bears, and Dennis Erickson has not had many things to celebrate this year. That certainly wasn't one of them right after he grabbed the lead.
Oh, no.
Left tackle Kasim Mitchell backed out early.
72 offense, 5 yards. It's still first down.
When you make a run back like that, even though you have a rookie, first-time starter, okay, do you let him go for the end zone?
Sure, I don't think you change it. Normally
let him take a shot.
Take your shot. You would have on 1st and 10. I think now you come out, you run the football, maybe a little play action. Those are the options. I don't think you just drop them back.
49ers show blitz and come with it. And really, without a chance, Anthony Thomas, Jamie Winborn was the first guy there.
I'll tell you why I'd throw it now. I'd run. Play action is the best pass protection you can get because you keep the back in as an extra pass protector. You know San Francisco's going to come after them. So take your chances with your wide receivers, and they've got to get the ball to David Terrell, number 83. Some way, somehow, they've got to get him into the game. He's a big play guy.
And talking to Dennis Erickson, he said, you know, we just can't sit back and play defense with these guys. We have to, or any other team, we have to come after them, especially being a rookie quarterback. You really have to put some heat on him.
And Krenzel wants a timeout. With 5:26 to go in the half, the Bears facing a 2nd and 18 when we come back.
Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL, presents defensive lineman Brenson Buckner, who gets ready for the game with his Visa card and a lot of lip balm. In a remarkable pregame ritual, Brenson kisses his cleats once for every beloved member of his family. His son Brandon, his mother Thelma, his wife Denise. Not his father-in-law Thomas. He's a Browns fan. He's got his Visa, he's got his lip balm, he's ready.
I got a lot of names.
Visa, get ready for the game.
5:26 to go in the half. The Bears trail the 49ers, but they are at the San Francisco 32-yard line.
No matter where they are.
Chicago on a beautiful night over the crest of Soldier Field.
Craig Krenzel's got to be thinking, just don't take a sack here.
No matter where they are, Joe, they have a field goal in mind.
Krenzel looks one way, throws the other, and throws badly the other way. Bobby Wade wide open as they faked the screen one way, went back the other, and he missed him by a couple of yards.
Well, John Engelberger, number 95, just about buried Krenzel.
Well, we've talked about teams with this kind of speed, and San Francisco is built on speed. They're not a big, bulky group of guys. They've got linebackers that once they start their angles of pursuit at the quarterback, you have a screen, they can turn and go chase it as good as anybody in the league.
Now 3rd and 18. Krenzel will go shotgun. Has time, throws underneath. Good catch by Brian Johnson, but stumbled as he made the grab and couldn't pick up any additional yards. And Edinger will come on to try another field goal. You know these guys are within range as long as there's a crossbar there.
They can bounce it off of.
I wonder who greased the bars.
Well, you know,
these are sliding in.
Hey, guys, both of these quarterbacks, when they're throwing the ball down the field, they're comfortable. But when you're trying to hit crossing backs, both Dorsey and Craig Krenzel have really made it tough on the backs to catch the ball. Making guys make diving catches.
Edinger, who got one over the crossbar from 52, will try from 45. And this one's got plenty on it. So we're tied again now at 13. Let's check in with Susie Culver. Susie.
Mike, I think you guys would agree. Hanging around with the Bears on Friday, you get a sense of a new confidence, and it's because of their new quarterback. If you track the Bears' struggles, it's directly related to that lack of stability at quarterback. 6 times in 7 seasons, they've used 3 different starting quarterbacks. 14 different starters since '96. In the last 82 games, they've changed 25 times. I think you get the drift.
And yeah. Susie, really, it's not always, you know, we talk about personnel and you have to evaluate people. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. But Jerry Angelo, the new general manager who came over in 2001, he's obviously made some good picks in the draft. And that's what you have to build a franchise.
Well, one of the things, too, is that, Joe, we talked about this the other day, is if you look at all the successful franchises throughout the National Football League and out throughout history, Joe, they established a quarterback.
Yeah, and part of it has been injury. I mean, the thing is it isn't that they haven't made good choices in people. For example, I thought Jim Miller, I still believe Jim Miller's a heck of a quarterback.
So do I.
He just hasn't stayed healthy. He'd have been the guy here in Chicago if he stayed healthy. He got hurt and they moved on.
But they did, as the ball may have come loose. I don't know if the whistle's been blown yet or not. And now they're going to say the ball will be retained by the 49ers. There were a couple of choices, like when they made the trade to get Rick Meyer, gave up the #1 draft choice to get Rick Meyer. Rick Meyer had a terrific college career, a great guy, but he has been a career backup in the NFL. He certainly wasn't the answer, and that set them back a long way.
Yeah, but it isn't just Chicago. Take a look at what the San Diego Chargers did when they took Ryan Leaf.
Absolutely.
I mean, to be honest with you, taking a quarterback #1 to a degree is a crapshoot. You don't always get a Ben Roethlisberger, or you don't always get a guy like Craig Krenzel in the 5th that looks like he may be able to hold it down.
It is hardly an exact science. Underneath to Barlow, and he dances his way up across the 35 to the 37. Marcus Reese, number 52, in on coverage at linebacker for the Bears.
You know, this also goes back to something you have to take into consideration. The #1 quarterback taken in the league is usually going to one of the worst teams in all of football. So now you're putting a young guy out of college that really doesn't know the speed and what's going on in professional football, and you make him a starter. More often than not, you ruin him because he loses confidence. He doesn't have the people in front of him, the people to make the plays, and that's what quarterbacks need. And you know, every time you look at it, it's like the first 6 or 7 guys taken in the draft usually go to the 6 or 7 worst teams. And you're expecting a guy coming out of college to be a superstar. Well, they're not.
Well, you can spin it a little bit forward to the 49ers, obviously their quarterback situation, but Kevin Barlow. They've asked him to come in now and pick up the load and take the pressure off of Ken Dorsey. It looks like he's starting to get into a groove now.
Dorsey, that was almost picked by Urlacher.
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. If we see the end of this baby, do you know that there were 5 dark shirts?
Yes, there were.
5 dark shirts where Dorsey throws this ball. Here's Urlacher, 54. Look at the guys there. There was no chance for anybody to catch this ball except for Urlacher.
Ron Rivera, the defensive coordinator, the new defensive coordinator of the Bears, told me that in the type of defense that they play here with the cover 2 philosophy, corners up, safeties back, nobody has ever been a middle linebacker with the ability of Brian Urlacher. He will revolutionize the quote-unquote Tampa 2 that you hear people talk about in the National Football League because of his athletic ability.
And Ron Rivera played on that great Bears defense in '85. And Urlacher, Lovie Smith says, as good as he is, with the way this defense will be played, he should get at least 5 interceptions a year. And Urlacher can obviously get back in coverage.
And 5 sacks.
Yes.
Well, Brian Urlacher, you know, the one thing about him, he said, last week I missed a whole lot of tackles. Well, just watch him tonight. He seeks out, this was on a screen, and Urlacher finds it. Now he's going after the quarterback. It destroys the offensive lineman. Here comes Urlacher again. He's waiting, he's waiting. Dorsey tries to move. He's got him. Now, I'll tell you what. Lloyd knocks his ball away. If it wasn't for Lloyd, Urlacher has the interception.
There are three guys in this league that I would be happy to pay money to watch play linebacker. Urlacher, Zach Thomas, and Ray Lewis. They are just a joy to watch every game.
And teams have paid them a lot of money?
Yes, they have.
And they're neat guys to talk to because they're really basically very quiet guys.
Urlacher on the blitz. Dorsey throws behind Eric Johnson, who was a target for the first time, and Urlacher had a clear shot at Ken Dorsey.
I'm going to tell you what. I asked Ken Dorsey yesterday. I said, are you aware of where Urlacher is? He said, you can bet I am. I said, so is every other quarterback in football. Look onto the right-hand side of your screen. He's got a shot at Dorsey. If he doesn't get rid of the ball, he's dead.
Well, he didn't have any problem finding Urlacher on that one, did he?
He saw him coming. Believe me, he saw him coming.
3rd and 10. Empty backfield. Urlacher showing blitz, and he comes. Beasley out in the flat, dropped the ball. Wouldn't have gone anywhere anyway. R.W. McQuarters was right there.
I'll tell you one thing. Urlacher's one of those guys, Joe, that plays, that intimidates quarterbacks. Now, here's R.W. McQuarters on Beasley. This ball just goes through his hand. He takes his eye off the ball, and he looks at McQuarters.
You know, I don't... When you say Urlacher's a guy that intimidates quarterbacks, I don't believe quarterbacks get intimidated. I really don't. I think that he's so disruptive, he ruins your rhythm. But I'm not sure whether intimidation is really the way to do it. I'm defending my fellow quarterbacks here.
Good decision by R.W. McQuarters to let that one go on a 55-yard kick. And R.W. McQuarters wired for Sunday Night Football.
It's showtime! It's showtime! Woo! Are you not entertained? Here we go. Follow me.
Well, they've got the A train on offense. They've got that train on defense. R.W. McQuarters, a first-round draft choice 7 years ago of the San Francisco 49ers. This game is very, very important to him. Krenzel throws sideline, complete to Bobby Wade. There's a flag down in the secondary.
This is going to be a
gain of 16.
It's also going to be offensive pass interference because Bobby Wade threw his left arm out and pushed off, and you can't do it. This is a terrific call.
Nice interference. 84 offense. 10 yards. Repeat, first down.
And a rare call.
It is, but if you get your arm away from your body, the officials are supposed to call it offensively, and that's exactly what he does. He pushes off to get the separation. This is an excellent call by the official.
Now, there is a rarity.
Me complimenting the officials?
Yes.
I'm willing.
Well, it is Halloween.
I am willing. Hey, if I see it, I'll call it.
Joe is wearing his complimentary mask tonight.
I guess right. A Joe Theismann mask. Scary, too.
I'll tell you what, there wasn't a big demand for those, I can tell you that.
Krenzel made a real production out of that draw play to Anthony Thomas.
You know, you could sell some stuff like that in college, but when you've got a defense that they're going after the quarterback and they're coming after, and every one of these guys, when they're blitzing, they're check and run first. You didn't give that guy any chance. 1st and 20. You don't get a whole lot of a chance either.
No. Hey, you can just see Anthony Thomas's thought process. Just give me the ball.
Yeah, they're going to wait this out and go down to the 2-minute warning.
And we've talked about what San Francisco's missing defensively. Andre Carter hasn't played yet this year, and he's a starting defensive end. Got Andre Williams out. He's another defensive lineman.
And both of their starting corners are out. We have reached the 2-minute warning. It's been a good one so far, 13-13 in Chicago. Nice job, guys. And we didn't just reverse the field goal and show it from first the right side and then the left side. Those were two different field goals that hit the crossbar and went over. 2nd and 20 for the Bears. Krenzel, little stump off to Thomas, and he's tackled by Jamie Winborn, who's been in on several stops. And now San Francisco will use its 2nd timeout to stop the clock at 1:51.
Terry Shea, the offensive coordinator, I think in a little bit of a, should I throw the football and risk an incompletion? That way San Francisco wouldn't have to use another timeout. Do I run it? My defense is playing really good. Do I run it, let them use their timeout, and only have one left, and then we'll punt it. I mean, to me, what I do in this situation, the young quarter, I'd run the football, make San Francisco use their timeout. I think you take a chance by dropping them back. Could get sacked, could lose a ball. Lots of bad things could happen.
Once Rex Grossman was hurt, and they tried Jonathan Quinn at quarterback and found him wanting, and went to Craig Krenzel tonight, Terry Shea says it's going to have to be a maverick on a lot of things in order to get the offense on track. Let's see how much of a maverick he wants to be on 3rd and 13 deep in his own territory. Blitz coming, and Krenzel will be taken down. And once again, Jamie Winborn came firing through.
That was one of those things that I talked about that might happen.
How about blocking would be a lot better if they did that. But I'll tell you what, Jamie Winborn, when he starts the blitz, this is the 3rd time that he has been in the backfield. But Jamie Winborn, number 55, they have a deal on. And just watch this guy, the penetration. He comes inside the tackle and makes the play. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Excuse me, it wasn't a tackle. It was the offensive back, Anthony Thomas. He just ran right over him.
I believe that running backs that are good blockers, it has little to do with technique. It has everything to do with desire.
Willingness?
Well, if you want to block somebody, you're going to block somebody. If you don't want to step in front of them and block them, I don't care how big you are or whatever you are, you won't do it. I think Thomas Jones gives him an edge back there in the backfield. It's something Anthony Thomas is going to have to get better at.
And now Arnaz Battle waits near the 50 for the punt. He's already had a big night on special teams, been in on several tackles. And Maynard will have to kick out of his own end zone with 1:45 to go in the half.
What I like about Arnaz Battle, he's full speed all the time.
Go Irish.
He has no other gear.
Good protection from Maynard. He hangs one up. Battle, fair catch back at his own 48-yard line. A punt of 41. Let's check in with Chris Berman. Boomer.
Hi, I'm Chris Berman. You want to join us at halftime for our fastest 3 minutes? A look at Week 8 in the NFL. A big streak ends. 2 other streak continues. Our halftime heroes. And maybe a foreshadowing of the election. We'll explain at half.
Back at Soldier Field with 1:36 to go in the half. Excellent field position for San Francisco. They'll start from their own 48-yard line behind Ken Dorsey, who was in there for the injured Tim Rattay.
All right, Eric Johnson's got to make a catch.
Here comes a blitz. Do a pretty good job of picking it up. And the throw not near any receiver. The closest man to it was Alex Brown. And Michael Haynes was applying the pressure.
I want to be flat honest with you. Ken Dorsey's arm is really suspect. I mean, to throw a 15-yard comeback is not something that this young man, I don't think, can do. I think you've got to throw crossing routes. You've got to find Eric Johnson, the tight end, sooner or later. He has 45 catches coming into this game for a reason. And I think that's more of the strength of Ken Dorsey than trying to throw deep comebacks.
Another blitz. Dorsey throws this one out in the flat, and Terry Jackson hit as soon as he caught it.
If you hit him, Alex Brown.
If you're the Bears, call a timeout. I mean, if you're the Bears, call a timeout.
Well, they don't know where Alex Brown is. He's either rushing or he's back in coverage.
And he's a defensive end. Alex Brown was in coverage both times. And take a look at this guy. Boom, back outside, and he's in coverage. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Tell you what, he is very quick, lost 20 pounds from a year ago, and he is the career record holder in sacks for the University of Florida. Had 33. It was a 3-time All-American. He does have some speed. Dorsey deep downfield, tipped and off the fingertips. Incomplete. Arnaz Battle had a shot at it, couldn't hold it.
That's a catch you have to make.
Now that was a very good throw.
Yeah, it's more what he does. Release the ball, anticipate it. Watch, the ball's in the air before the move is made, comes down. That was a former college quarterback learning how to be a wide receiver. Now, you know what? That's a little tougher than I thought.
That would have been a great catch.
A little bit high.
Right, because he's Notre Dame.
But good defense by the Bears. A flag is down on this punt. McQuarters just shy of his own 20. Now we'll check the penalty. Only a 35-yard kick, but outstanding defense by the Bears that didn't let them go anywhere. And it's a motion call against San Francisco.
I'd make them kick it again. I think they're going to kneel down anyway. So make them kick it again. You got RW back there. Give him a chance.
Illegal formation on the kicking team. There was no wide man on the end of the line on the right side. So there was only 6 on the line. 5 yards. Repeat, 4th down.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who doesn't like you right now, the kicking team.
I don't care.
They don't.
Well, they don't like the guy who wasn't in the right position.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'd give, if, you know, I think Lovey's doing the right thing. Give RW another shot at it.
Now, if I were the punter here, let me tell you something. What I would do?
Kick it out of bounds.
Kick it out of bounds. You aim at the 20-yard line inside the 20 and kick the ball out of bounds where he can't touch it.
You're so smart.
I reminded R.W. McQuarters of a game we did when he was playing at Oklahoma State against Nebraska. The first kick he returned, it was obvious Nebraska had 8 All-Americans. After he returned that kick, everybody knew he was the best player on that field, and he played for Oklahoma State. And there goes R.W. across the 40 to the 42. Let's go to Susie.
Mike, on Halloween night, plenty of tricks and treats. How about Craig Krenzel? First start, first throw, connects with the 49-yard bomb to Bernard Berrien. But San Francisco protecting their own turf. The defense comes up big, the strip, and safety Dwayne Carpenter takes it all the way back. 80 yards for the score to tie it up at that point. But Krenzel showing that he is a rookie after all, the interception. The rest of the night, crazy field goals bouncing over the crossbars. Little black magic for Halloween.
And Susie, they have 2 timeouts left if they can get anything out of this. Pass incomplete, intended for Justin Gage, and knocked away by Josílio Hansen, who was in as the nickelback. And there are guys who have just been signed either off the practice squad or off the street playing for the 49ers in the secondary. They've lost so many guys.
That's a good play. You're talking about a guy 5'9" going up against a guy 6'4". Everybody tries to pick on those vertically challenged young men. Make them up big.
When you got that high, you're not vertically challenged.
18 seconds to go in the half. Krenzel. Midfield and out of bounds. Right at the sticks.
Brandon Whiting is hurt back on about the 29-yard line.
He was part of the Terrell Owens trade at defensive end.
And that's one of the things you saw out of him in college, the ability to move around. I think you've got to make plays with your legs. He does a smart thing here. He gets out of bounds. They've got 10 seconds and 2 timeouts, which means that if you can make a throw 15, 18 yards down the field, call a timeout. Why not give Ettinger a chance? He's already made one at 52 yards.
The numbers on Krenzel, the majority of which came on the 1 pass to Bernard Berrien in the first offensive series for a touchdown. See if we can see what Brandon Whiting was involved in going against Big John Tate. And just appeared to have his leg buckle. Here is a list of just some of the guys out for San Francisco. Andre Carter, an outstanding defensive end. Ahmed Plummer, the starter on the left corner. Mike Rumpf, the starter on the right corner. And Julian Peterson, the all-pro linebacker, who literally can play 5 different positions on defense. Now, you lose guys like this in the age of the salary cap. Doesn't matter how deep you are or how good you are, you simply can't recover from it.
Remember, Julian Peterson is a guy who was franchised the last couple of years. He's franchised the last couple of years. So for Julian Peterson, it comes at a terrible time. He's got an ACL. He's got to go through all the rehab now. 3 of those 4 guys don't come back.
Well, you're just talking, when you're named, you just named 4. There's a whole bunch of other guys that have been hurt on this football team, offensively and defensively. What did Dennis Erickson say to us the other day? He says, you know, I got to the point where I was going to put my name on the front of my hat so that they would know, say, Coach, they know who I was, because I didn't know any of the players.
The other thing is you lost Tim Rattay. You know, remember, Jeff Garcia's gone. Jeff Garcia's gone to a couple Pro Bowls. All of a sudden, your football team doesn't have the guy that you had hoped to be your starting quarterback.
Well, they literally have 1/3 of the salary cap is in dead money, which means it is being paid to players who are no longer on their roster. Guys who were shipped off. They decided to blow up the offense this year. They had been in salary cap hell. Then they escaped that, decided the approach wasn't what they needed to do, went the other direction. Now they're back in salary cap hell, and Dennis Erickson is a guy who's going to have to fight through it because all he can do is manage what is left right now.
Well, and what he said was, and Donahue said the same thing. He said, you know, we try to keep 90% of our defense because you got to build from the defense. Well, they did that, and they lost more than, what, 50% of the defense of the guys they saved. So they're really in a lot of problems, and they're in the problems not only this year, but they're going to be in problems again next year.
You know what, though? But they've got players. If they can get some people back healthy, they've got players. They can compete. They can't make mistakes and beat themselves.
They need about 15 yards to have a try at a long field goal. And Krenzel throws to the sideline. They've got a timeout left. Terrell makes a catch at the 35. This would set up a 52, 53-yard try for Ettinger, who's already hit 2 long ones.
Why not?
Good job by Krenzel to get them in position.
It was a good job on the play before to get out of bounds and get as much as he could. It's a nice throw. He has the arm strength to get the ball out to the sideline. Nice job by going down on it by David Terrell.
Ettinger is hit from 45 and 52. This would be from 53.
Why not?
This is for the lead at the half.
Hit it. Wow.
Just short. Ettinger gave it a ride and just came up short.
I wanted it to hit. I wanted to hit 3 for 3, and that's not that far off.
The reason why, when you're on this field, that's down into the wind.
Check in with Susie.
Lovie Smith, I want to know what you're thinking when your rookie quarterback, first throw in his first start, hits that touchdown bomb.
Well, of course, we're pretty excited. He's looked good all week in practice, and that was the plan. We thought we could go deep on him early, and he was able to do that.
What's clicking with your defense?
Well, I think now we're just starting to play our type of ball. In previous weeks, we haven't been in our right gaps. Tonight, the guys have been in their right gaps, and they've been playing real hard.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Susie, thanks very much. The score here, 49ers and Bears knotted up at 13. Who already has a kickoff return of 73 yards. Takes this one from the 7 and goes straight up the middle again. Jerry Azuma near midfield. A 42-yard kickoff return. Welcome back to Soldier Field in Chicago as we hit the 3rd quarter. What do the 49ers have to do to try to win one here on the road, Paul?
To me, it's very simple. You've got to get the ball to Eric Johnson. And, they tried one throw. We didn't know it was so far away from him. We didn't know it was to him or not, or the defensive guy. But this is your leading receiver. You've got to get the ball to him, and he has been open.
And I think let Craig Krenzel continue to feel his way into the football game and give him a little bit more expanded offense. Let him throw the ball. And I think you've got to get David Terrell involved. I think that's a guy that has to come to the forefront for the Bears.
Statistically, the Bears won the first half. They really dominated against the San Francisco 49ers, but they're only tied on the scoreboard.
Well, I'll tell you what, Brian Young, I talked about him at the beginning in his defense, and he's been around 11 years. This guy has played a heck of a ball game tonight, and he just about killed the quarterback.
In 02 and 01, he went to the Pro Bowl. It's not like he hasn't been a great player in this league for a long time. He remembers what the 49ers were like when they were winning a lot.
Anthony Thomas, the trainer, running back. Thomas Jones hurt early in the first half with a sprained foot. We have not seen him since. Oh. And that ball came loose. Jamie Winborn underneath the pile. No whistle, and they're going to call it a fumble.
Anthony Thomas just got tripped up with his own man in front of him. As he tried to lift his legs, the ball came bouncing out, And BY wound up with it.
Well, Jamie Winborn, he just submarines the blocker in front of Anthony Thomas.
And that did come loose.
That's Anthony Adams, number 91. Watch this. He gets his hand on the ball. Ball comes flying out. And Bryant Young's right there.
And Brian Johnson, the fullback, his foot may have hit that ball and knocked it loose. But whoever knocked it loose, the 49ers have it. Barlow cuts it outside.
He fumbled.
He lost it. And the Bears say they have it back. It looked like Jerry Azuma knocked it loose. And the Bears do have it.
I'm going to tell you what, Kenneth, you've got to protect the football. You're running out in space, and you can't let people just reach in like they do right here and knock the ball away.
ESPN Sunday Night Football, brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 39. Campbell's Chunky Soup, with big chunks of meat and veggies, it fills you up right. Mazda, always the soul of a sports car. And McDonald's.
City of Chicago with a population of around 9 million. We are in Soldier Field in Chicago. Send some of that up here.
That was a small pizza.
It was. We have played 1 minute in the second half, and we have 2 turnovers already, which gives you some indication why each one of these teams are 1-5. Let's go to Susie Colbert.
Well, Mike, at the half, I asked Dennis Erickson to assess the play of his quarterback, Ken Dorsey. He said, okay, he's making decent decisions. The plus is no turnovers. Of course, he would like him to make more plays to his tight end, Eric Johnson, as we have pointed out. As for the quarterback that's out on the field right now, the rookie, he agrees. He's playing poised. They've got to get more pressure on him, more blitzes. He said expect to change up with that.
And, Susie, if you had asked him about Reggie Barlow, he probably would not have been as complimentary. And there is Kevin Barlow, excuse me. There was a pass intended for Brian Johnson on the screen. Winborn again, who's had a sensational game, putting on the pressure. But Krenzel missed a perfectly set up screen pass.
It's exactly like the throw he threw before that was picked off an interception. He's just releasing the ball too high, and he's not getting it what you call up and down. It's got to come out of your hand, go over the defender, and head on back down. He's just not giving his back a chance. They had something set up that time because the 49ers tried to bring pressure.
They're going to bring pressure every time.
Then throw screens.
They did.
And it didn't work.
Throw another one.
3rd and 8. Low snap. Pressure again coming on Krenzel. And the pass incomplete. Well short of David Terrell.
I'm going to tell you what, we've been talking about this defense, and we said at the beginning of this game that San Francisco, they were going to come. And why not? You got a rookie standing back there, and you're going to make him make a decision, and that's what you want him to do, is make mistakes. But, boy, they are flying.
I wonder if molecular genetics helps you figure out where guys are going to go.
Krenzel was off to a great start. 4 out of 5 for 96 yards. Since then, 4 out of 12 for only 26. Arnaz battle. No more got the ball than he was drilled after a 44-yard punt. Todd McMillan right on top of it. What NBA regular season tips off with 2 games at 8 Eastern. Shaquille O'Neal leads his new team, the Miami Heat, against Jason Kidd and the New Jersey Nets. Then at 10:30 Eastern, Kobe Bryant and the Lakers go against the Utah Jazz. NBA Wednesday, part of Premier Week on ESPN. The 49ers take over. Dorsey straight back to throw. Out in the flat to Johnson. And he is wrapped up. Or a check it, that's Aaron Walker. He's wrapped up immediately after a short game. Mike Ditka, the former coach of the Chicago Bears, the Hall of Fame tight end of the Chicago Bears, waiting in our studio. He will be joining us momentarily. I don't know that anyone in the history of pro football has ever been identified more with a city than Mike has with Chicago.
2 guys in Chicago, Butkus and Ditka. How good is that?
Not bad. Barlow taken down as he reached the 27 Lance Briggs makes the stop there. Speaking of Mike Ditka, that 85 team full of personality. Jim McMahon, Walter Payton, the stare of Mike Singletary, and the refrigerator, of course. And it all ended up with the Super Bowl shuffle in January.
Now, one of those guys knew how to dance. None.
Well, they almost ran Mike Ditka for Senate from Illinois. I don't know about president.
Got to start somewhere.
He'd win here, certainly. Dorsey, another blitz, and Dorsey goes down back at the 15-yard line, and it was Israel Adonijah, a young man from Manitoba, Canada.
Boy, all you do is talk about young guys on this defensive line. Watch number 71. Adonijah just comes right in unblocked. And look at the speed he has to get Dorsey.
And Ken Dorsey is saying it'd be nice if somebody got a little bit of a 280-pound defensive end. A rolling punt picked up by R.W. McQuarters, and he is sandwiched as he got to the 47-yard line. There's another penalty marker down. A punt of 39, a return of 8.
Alfonso Marshall, number 22, was involved in that with. And that was so far away from the play, it's ridiculous.
Holding number 22 of the receiving team during the run back. 10 yards. It'll be a first down.
Alfonso Marshall called for the hold. Mike Ditka joins us when we come back to Soldier Field in Chicago. Welcome back to our Halloween Sunday night from Soldier Field in Chicago. The 49ers and the Bears tied at 13. Hall of Fame coach and tight end Mike Ditka will join us in a moment. Bears take over at their own 43-yard line behind Craig Krenzel, who has won the starting job from Jonathan Quinn. The A-Train picks up a couple. Mike Ditka with us. Mike, thanks for taking the time to do this. We appreciate it. I know you know Lovie Smith. I think anybody that has talked to him really likes the way the guy handles himself. In your opinion, is he the long-term answer here in Chicago?
Well, I hope so. I think Lovie's a great guy. I think he has a great plan. He understands what he wants to do. I believe it's the greatest job in the world. I had it for a while, and I think if you can win in Chicago, that city will love you forever. And I think they're going in the right direction, but it's tough when you get the number of injuries that, especially the quarterback. I think that just took the wind out of their sails.
Mike, why has it always been such a quarterback problem here for such a long period of time?
Well, they really haven't had one since McMahon, and even when we had Jim, you know, at times we had a hard time keeping him healthy, but really, they really just haven't had, and I'm not sure why. They drafted Grossman, and I like the draft because I think Rex can be a very good quarterback, but, you know, you got to be healthy to play the game. And, of course, the injury he had, he wasn't even hit when he got it. He was just turning up, trying to make a play going to the end zone up in Minnesota. So, you know, I don't know how bad the injury is or how long it'll be, but he's out for this year. But it's tough. You know, Joe, you played the position, and you've been hurt, and you know, you kind of got to be a little bit lucky at that position that you don't get hurt. And when you get one that you're counting on, he gets hurt, you know, it kind of takes the wind out of you.
I also think, Mike, you have to do things to protect yourself at that position.
Yeah,
but the other thing I'm curious about is, well, you know, Dick Vermeil came back to coach, Joe Gibbs came back to coach, Bill Parcells came back. Have you entertained a thought at all of coming back and doing some coaching?
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Did you see the look on Joe's face today on the sideline? Did you see the look on Parcells' face all last week? Are you kidding me?
Yep.
You got to be nuts.
And you know what? I'll tell you what I saw, Mike. I saw the look on your face on our show this morning with Chris Berman, and that looked like a look of joy.
Well, I had fun. I mean, this is kind of fun working with these guys. I know more than Michael, but I'm not sure about the rest of them.
Michael, if you decide to come back, there'll be a whole lot of people that would welcome you.
You know, I say one thing, and it kind of amazes me. I watched the interview after the game with Coach Belichick today, and I watched the interview last week after they won. It was no different. somewhere along the way, you got to have fun doing this. If it's no fun, I don't know why people do it. I don't think it's everybody has to be so stoic and take on this genius image. There is no genius to it. If you get good players and you put them in the right position, chances are you got a chance to win. And if you don't, chances are you won't win. But, you know, have a little bit of fun with it.
Mike, it's people like you in the media that, you know, bequeath the title genius on people.
Well, you know, no, believe me, listen, I coach against a lot of great coaches, and, you know, Bill Walsh was probably as close as I would say that anybody came to it, because I think that he took a system and made it work and fit the players into the system, and it became a great organization. It's a shame to watch. You know, these organizations have fallen pretty far. Now, this is a good game in the sense that they're tied because they're both equal, whatever that means.
Mike, one other question for you. The bizarre situation with Ricky Williams, a kid you came to know when you were in New Orleans. Should he come back to the NFL, will he be welcomed anywhere if he does come back?
Well, I think it's going to be tough. I think what he did, you know, he made a rash decision and judgment, and when he made it, he never asked for any advice that could have helped him. I said it was the worst mistake he ever made. He'll regret it for the rest of his life, and I think he will. The NFL probably won't let him back without a 1-year suspension and a 4-game suspension. Rules are rules. They're not meant to be broken. He broke them. You know, you got to abide by the rules of the NFL. I don't feel sorry for him.
Mike, thank you so much. We appreciate you taking the time.
Good luck.
And we'll see you down the road.
Good Lord willing.
We have a timeout, 13-13, third quarter from Chicago.
Later on SportsCenter, streak busting on Halloween. Does the steel curtain drop on the Pats? Like tackling a ghost, why the Colts couldn't stop the Priest, and why opponents better be very scared of Shaq this season. After the game.
This is the deal of a lifetime. Get 30% off new Chevys and 50% off used vehicles at Rizza Chevrolet. That's 30% off new Cavaliers, Trailblazers, Aveos, Tahoes, Malibus, and more. Get 50% off used cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. It's your chance to drive a new or used vehicle with
9.5 minutes to go, third quarter. San Francisco will have the ball on its own 34-yard line in a 13-13 tie.
And the Bears have their #1 and #2 draft choices in there, side by each.
and the #1 from last year.
Tommy Harris 99, or Tommy Harris 91, Tank Johnson 99. Guys with quite a future for the Chicago Bears. Dorsey running for his life, gets out of bounds just in front of Hunter Hillenmeyer.
All right, #1 draft choice, number 91, is Tommy Harris, and he has 2.5 sacks. He was leading this team going into this game. He's in there. Tank Johnson is their #2 draft choice, and he's number 99. But these guys, I'll tell you what, I said they were going to go after the quarterback of Chicago.
They're going after
Craig Krenzel. They're going after the great quarterback of San Francisco, Ken Dorsey, and I mean they're coming after him. These guys aren't even thinking about run.
2nd and 8. Draw play, Barlow. He takes it out to the 40.
You know why they're not thinking about run? Because they got linebackers like Urlacher and everyone else is going to. This is why you can sacrifice your defensive line, not sacrifice it, but let them go for the quarterback.
Sure. Tonight, only 23 yards allowed on the ground. They came in with some lousy numbers. They have done much better this evening. 3rd and 4. Bears showing blitz again, straight up the middle. 2 linebackers right in the middle of that formation. Urlacher comes. This ball's tipped up in the air and incomplete. Looked like Dorsey may have been hit just as he threw, and Alex Brown, who has been in the backfield of the San Francisco 49ers all night long, was at it again.
Well, I'm going to tell you, you take a look at this young man Dorsey sitting there, and Alex Brown has just been hammering him. You know, I don't care who you are, the quarterback. If you're an experienced quarterback or not, if you don't have the time to throw the ball, you're not getting it away with these, not the way these guys are rushing.
R.W. McQuarters waits back at his 15 for the kick of the rookie Andy Lee. ...34-yard kick. tough night for Ken Dorsey out of Miami so far. Renovated Soldier Field in the city of Chicago. They kept the colonnades, and it looked like they dropped a spaceship on top of it for the rest. But 61,500 here tonight at Soldier Field.
It's great inside.
Yes, it is. Beautiful.
Got a great view of the field.
Wonderful press box.
Boy, I love Sky King.
Craig Krenzel takes over for the Bears at their 25, and they'll whistle this play dead.
Prior to the snap, false start, 89 offense, 5 yards, still first down.
That's the tight end Dustin Lyman.
There's your quarterback comparison. Both of them doing about the same thing. Ken Dorsey just hasn't had a chance to get the ball anywhere near down the field. I think his completions would be up if he could find his tight end. And Craig Krenzel, they've been a little more aggressive with him. First big play down the field, hit the touchdown. Just missed one to Bobby Wade, number 84, on the last series. So Chicago willing to open it up with the rookie even a little bit more than Ken Dorsey.
He has a little bit more time.
Same play. Thomas, just about the same result as he had before. Ulbrich makes the tackle from the corner. They're trying to keep Ulbrich, Winborn, and Derek Smith on the field at the same time, along with Brandon Moore, because they feel right now, when you include Bryant Young, that those are the 5 really good players they have left on defense, along with Tony Parrish, the strong safety, the former Chicago Bear.
Well, what they're trying to do with the Bears, they were just trying to go up the middle and to catch the San Francisco 49ers defensive linemen in stunts. They're stunning all over the place.
Doesn't matter. You're going to run into a linebacker.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
They've been coming up the middle all night.
Don't go up the middle. Go someplace else.
2nd and 16. Krenzel with time and throws incomplete. Bernard Berrien can't get the ball. There is a flag down.
Probably going to have an illegal chuck on number 83, David Terrell.
Illegal contact, 23 defense, 5 yards, automatic first down.
It's Jimmy Williams, who was the backup corner to Mike Rumpf before his injury. And a big play there because it was 3rd and 16.
All right, number 23. Now, there's the illegal chuck. After 5 yards, you can't touch anybody.
Wow.
But that, you know, that is a little picky.
I mean, what that? Hey,
but
at least
that's
they're
the
calling.
rule.
At least they're calling them.
Well, they said they would.
That was a mere hand chuck right there.
That was the point of emphasis during preseason. Here comes the safety blitz. Krenzel trying to get rid of the ball before he's hit, and the ball drops right into the arms of his tight end Desmond Clark. That was fate in a gain of 21.
I'm going to tell you what.
Look at the smile on Krenzel's face. Boy, does he know he got away with one there.
Oh, Ulbrich, number 53, is a linebacker, and he just comes from the right-hand side. He does a double spin move and then hits his arm, and the ball goes up in the air.
But you know what? Give Desmond Clark a lot of credit because he never took his eye off the quarterback. He sat down in the middle of the field. As Krenzel moves around, you see Ulbrich hit the ball, and Clark's just sort of waiting there like a center fielder.
Desmond Clark, the tight end, was the one who said the offensive guy should go find the defense and apologize for how poorly we have played. And Bryant Young comes through that offensive line and gets his 2nd sack. And Bryant Young is the #1 sack master in the history of the San Francisco 49ers.
Number 97, and I'm going to tell you something. He just ran over Rex Tucker and got to the quarterback. Bryant Young has been doing this all night long.
Rex Tucker's missed the last 33 games, so I guess you could say there's a little rust there.
Well, he's about to knock the rust off.
Pretty close.
Young with a franchise record. Charles Haley is the guy he surpassed tonight. Speaking of great pass rush. Krenzel draw play to Thomas. Thomas to the 39.
You know what, guys? I can't remember in the last 4 series where the Chicago Bears have had less than 2nd down and 15.
No, you're right.
They have had negative plays on every one of their first downs, whether it's a penalty, whether it's a sack, whether it's a run that stopped. I mean, for Lovie Smith, they can't get out of their way. 2nd down and 17, 2nd down and 15. Oops, I'm sorry. There was a 2nd and 8 in there. And 2nd and 8
is short yardage.
I mean, they just keep killing themselves on 1st and 10.
Well, now it's 3rd and 16.
They're going to come.
Really?
Oh, I would think so.
Krenzel throws underneath. And well short of a first down. Bobby Wade wrapped up. Derek Smith first there to help bring him down. And the fans a little bit unhappy with the play selection. But Krenzel, if you look at it, Rex Grossman was the starter. He was hurt. Jonathan Quinn inherits the job. He was found wanting. Krenzel is your 3rd string quarterback on 3rd and 16 in a tie game. What would you like to call?
No, I think it's fine. Like I said, the 2nd downs have killed them. They've gotten themselves way too many 2nd and longs.
High floating kick for Arnaz Battle. And he'll take it at the 10, a 42-yard kick, and no return. Hope you'll join us for a full night of football next Sunday on ESPN, starting at 7:30 Eastern with NFL Prime Time. And then we'll see Jeff Garcia and the Browns go to Baltimore to battle Ray Lewis and the Ravens on Sunday Night Football at 8:30 Eastern. And Jamal Lewis will be back from that 2-game suspension. And what a career he had in 2 games last year against the Browns.
He had 7,000 yards in 2 games against the Browns last year.
He must have felt that.
He didn't have that in the first game this year, though.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Can he break it back? Break out again.
They mark it at the 12. Barlow gets a carry from there and is planted by Mike Green, the strong safety, after a gain of 3. Boy, another big loss for the Bears defense was Mike Brown, who tore an Achilles on the 21st of September. He was such a big play guy for this team.
You know, that really, when you have a young team, and they are young, the Chicago Bears, and you have a guy like Brown, who is one of your leaders, and you lose him, it really hurts.
Barlow again, this time up to the 19-yard line. Let's go to Susie.
Well, Mike, coming into this game, the Bears have really struggled to stop the run. Tonight, they've held the Niners to 31 yards. Brian Urlacher told us that coming into this game, they just hadn't been disciplined enough, not staying in their gaps. And this defense is based on trust, trusting each guy to do his job. They just didn't believe enough in the defensive system, even though they knew when they did their jobs, it worked. It's the same thing we heard in Indianapolis with the Tony Dungy defense. When it works well, as you can see.
And Susie, it's a little difficult for guys, nearly picked off there by Lance Briggs, because players from the time they were in high school, defensive players, tend to chase the ball. And in this defense, you're not supposed to chase the ball. You're supposed to be in a certain area. If you get out of that area, you better make a play or you're going to get yelled at a lot.
Well, with Lovie Smith, when he put a defense in, you better play it. And, you know, sometimes I get tired of hearing when they're talking about, you know, they're buying into what we're trying to do. Well, you better buy in.
R.W. McQuarters on a line drive kick. Takes it inside the 40, a 14-yard return on a kick of 34.
Well, Lovie Smith, what he's tried to do is he's tried to bring that philosophy of, we'll call it the Tampa 2. What it basically is it's a situation where your corners play up, your safeties play back, and the key to it is the middle linebacker being able to get back and become the deep third person in the middle of the field. Now, with Brian Urlacher, you don't want to run him away from the line of scrimmage. You want to keep him close enough to be able to make plays. So what Lovie's done, and Ron Rivera's, they've modified the defense so that he can be a more active participant around the line of scrimmage.
Bears starting great field position, and Thomas goes straight up the middle, pounds his way inside the 30-yard line.
Don't you believe it's just a matter of time that they wear out, or wear down, not wear out, but wear down this San Francisco defense. That time there, they just run the ball with Anthony Thomas almost up the middle.
See, that's what you have to do, too, Paul. I mean, that's his style of running. Thomas Jones, when he's the starter, is an edge guy. He's got the quick cuts. He can stretch a defense and cut up inside. The A-Train's got to head it north and south on the track.
Did you see him look at the bench after the play saying, give it to me. Keep giving me the football. And there it is. Yeah, 49ers saw him doing the same thing, and Anthony Adams said, all right, you got it again.
Well, you know where we are again, Joseph? We're back to second down and long again. And this is where the Bears have had, as you pointed out before, their troubles all night long.
See, I think it's a perfect down to throw the football. Let Craig Krenzel throw the football. And the worst you're going to come up with, if he's smart, is 2nd and 10, which would be a major improvement over 5 of the last 6 second downs. And Terry Shea trying to come up with something that his young quarterback can make a play on.
They are already in the Edinger field goal range. They go with the reverse. Bobby Wade stays on his feet. Wade inside the 20. Well, there's a little risky play for you, and it paid off.
Well, I'll tell you, Jamie Winborn again, number 55. He almost makes this play. He's out here to the left of the screen. Just take it. He fights off the defense, and actually, I mean, he really makes the play. Watch what he does here. He's being blocked, gets rid of the blocker. Now he's the guy that hits Wade and slows this whole thing down so his teammates get in there and stop him from getting a first down.
3rd and 3.
Boy, the Bears just did a really smart thing. They got out of the huddle because a man was coming in. If they'd have had stayed in the huddle, it would have been 12 men. What a smart play that was offensively.
Thomas inside the 15. They need to reach the 13 for a first down. There's a flag down on the play.
It's offside against San Francisco.
Boy, big mistake by the 49ers on 3rd and 3.
Well, actually, it was 3rd and closer to 5.
Offside, 92 defense, 5-yard penalty. The result of the penalty will be a first down.
Oh, you're right. The scoreboard said 3, but the marker shows about 4.5 yards.
And with that offside, they get the first down, which they wouldn't have had.
This kind of a game, I don't take a chance of putting the ball in the air. I run it, kick the field goal, put my defense out there because San Francisco has shown me they can't move the football.
No, they certainly
That's the way you got to play it if you're loving.
San Francisco only has 89 yards in total offense in this game. Thomas with a stutter step, he's down to the 10. And the Bears, if they want, can let the clock run down to the end of the quarter here in the 3rd period. And that's exactly what Krenzel wants to do as he's coming toward the sideline. The Chicago Bears driving. They have reached the 10-yard line in a 13-13 tie at Soldier Field in Chicago.
Monday Night Countdown, presented by UPS, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
The one company that put the soul of a sports car in everything it makes now offers 10 ways to feel it. Mazda, how do you want your zoom zoom?
Yeah, 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 zoom.
Awesome. That was sick. Later, guys. See ya.
ATV Off-Road Fury 3 online. Ride with anyone, anytime, anywhere. Rated E for everyone.
Scent is the strongest sense tied to memory.
All right,
How will you be remembered? Introducing Red Zone Body Spray in 4 great scents that all last longer than the leading body spray.
He's so great.
Red Zone Body Spray. Spice things up all day, all night.
15 minutes to go on All Hallows Eve from Chicago. 13-13 Bears have reached the San Francisco 10.
Mike, it's Halloween.
All Hallows, he said. Leave him alone.
I know, it's Halloween.
Well, I miss trick-or-treating.
Krenzel in his first NFL start, 159 yards passing. His first throw was a 49-yard touchdown pass.
And I wouldn't expect him to throw a whole lot down here.
2nd and 7. Thomas, the deep man in the eye.
Let him throw it.
Krenzel, bootleg, throws, end zone, almost intercepted.
You know,
that's the danger of throwing. It was intended for Desmond Clark. Dwayne Carpenter, who got one earlier, almost had this one.
Don't you point your finger at me.
That was a sick look in your face.
I
boy.
know, I told you.
That ball was in Carpenter's hands.
That may have been a sick look in my face, but Dwayne Carpenter, he tries to make this throw. You know, the thing he's got to find out, he has got to find out that these defensive backs are quicker than you think. And those holes are not there. You've got to get the ball out quick. I saw Kurt Warner make a similar throw that was picked off. You've got to get the ball out of your hands quick. You can't float them down around the goal line.
And you also have to throw. That was for Des Clark. Now, that ball has to be thrown where only Des Clark can catch it, or he's out of bounds.
Then it should have been in the 3rd row.
That's right.
I mean,
or he's out of bounds.
The one thing that Craig Krenzel talked about was he has to get used to anticipating receivers being open. In college, he could wait till somebody came open and then make the throw. Now, at this level, he says he has to anticipate it more, and he said, if you think a guy is open and you see him open, he's not. And he's right. But I didn't like the call. I would not put him in that situation. Not as well as your defense is playing.
No, you're right, and it's 3rd and 7. Carpenter is still down.
Give it to the A train. The offensive line saying, all right, we can blow them out of there.
Now Carpenter will have to go to the other sideline and come out of the ball game. They are already very thin in the secondary.
Well, this ball really should have been caught by Carpenter. This ball, look at where it's thrown. It hits him right in the chest. And that's a defensive back not catching with his hands. If he catches that thing with his hands, he's got it.
Carpenter already had one turnover tonight and a touchdown.
Why do they have 2 interceptions?
That's right.
That's, you know, pictures are worth 1,000 words.
It's better than you saying 1,000 words.
I knew that was coming.
I had to be honest. That'd be a long night.
We're the only team in the NFL, or the worst team in the NFL, and the worst team in San Francisco to go 6 games into the season and not have a defensive back who had an interception. 3rd and 7 for the Bears. Krenzel to throw again. Now he'll take off, protects the ball, and dives to the 9.
I don't get it. I don't agree with the calls. You know, I think you have to call a game based upon what has transpired. And I think if you throw an interception, you take a lot of air and momentum away from you. Your quarterback makes a mistake, you expose him now to an injury, and you figured out that Jonathan Quinn struggles even more than this kid. So, to me, I didn't like either one of those calls. I think you run it, kick the field goal, go play defense.
Edinger's hit 2 long ones and missed only from 53. Edinger always looks like he's getting ready to leave. Knocks this one through. And the Chicago Bears have regained the lead, 16-13 over the 49ers.
Come on.
The Silverado half
6-ton crew comes standard with more muscle than Ford, Dodge, or Toyota. That's why it's the right truck. The official truck of an American revolution.
If it can happen, Liberty Mutual's planned for it. We have pre-approved contractors who can make emergency repairs within 24 hours. Liberty Mutual. It's more than insurance. It's insurance in action.
Cold hard fact. Other beers are heat pasteurized at 140 degrees. Coors Light is always frost brewed at an icy 34. Why? Because we know you love cold beer. Coors Light. Our goal, the coldest tasting beer in the world.
Hi, I'm Dale Earnhardt Jr. Welcome to a new generation of Wrangler.
New fits, new fabrics, new styles. Wrangler Jeans Company, a new generation of Wrangler.
ESPN Sunday Night Football brought to you by the new Chevrolets. 10 new cars and trucks in 20 months. An American revolution. Liberty Mutual. It's more than insurance. It's insurance in action. The coldest tasting beer in the world. Coors Light. The official beer sponsor of the NFL. And Goodyear Assurance featuring triple tread technology.
The Bears Den here at Soldier Field is a museum for Bear greats from Nagurski to Hallis, Butkus, Sayers, Payton, and Ditka. Boy, so much history here, and right now the Bears trying to get their second win of this season. The return, Jamal Robertson. Plenty of room to run. Ettinger, the last man, pushes him out of bounds. There is a flag at the 42-yard line. Jerry Austin, the referee.
Holding number 22 during the run back. 10 yards. First down.
Terry Jackson, 22, holding 22. Well, at least you're holding your own number. I mean, you gotta realize you can't grab anybody.
You think, you know, it amazes me sometimes. The guys think when you grab onto somebody, you think nobody's going to see it.
And you're in the middle of the field where everybody sees everything.
On a kick return.
Can Ken Dorsey get something going for San Francisco? Dumps this one to Beasley in the flat, and he's banged out of bounds to 38 by Lance Briggs. Let's go to Susie.
Mike, plenty of tricks and treats on Halloween. Craig Krenzel is the first NFL quarterback to throw a touchdown on the first pass of his first start since Elvis Gerbach did it for the Niners in '95. Then the Niners D did what the offense has not been able to do all night, score a touchdown as Dwayne Carpenter takes it in. Now that's because Ken Dorsey has been under pressure all night. Sacked 3 times, hurried 10 times, hit 4 times, but he's still standing.
Susie, the San Francisco offense now has 94 yards. 94, count them, in total offense with 13 minutes and 15 seconds to go in this game.
Well, the last time the San Francisco 49ers had a first down, when there was 4 minutes left in the first half.
Yikes.
So, yeah, so they haven't had a first down.
Now I think you come here, little play action again, try and get it out. And, of course, you got the guy who's been your leading receiver on the sidelines.
That's a little staggering.
Here come the Bears again.
They show blitz. Dorsey trying to change the play.
They have 8 men on the line of scrimmage.
They come straight up the middle. Draw to Barlow. Boy, nice call by Dorsey. Got the right play that time.
Well, here's what happens when you have 8 men on the line of scrimmage, and all you have to do is get to the secondary. There's nobody there. Watch when Barlow hits the secondary. See, there's no blue shirts except for about 10 or 15 yards downfield.
That's a case of Lance Briggs. We talked about getting in your gaps, being where you're supposed to be. There's a case where he tries to run a little bit more. He gets out of his gap, and that's exactly where Barlow came through, right at the middle.
Dorsey wants it all. And that throw will go out of bounds.
The most important thing you do when you throw a deep pass is keep it in the field of play.
You got to give your receiver a chance. There's two things. The receiver has to give you about 3 yards to the sideline when he goes up the field. And you've got to, with the rules the way they are today, you've got to give him a chance to get interfered with or make the play.
And Dorsey slung that one out of bounds. Cedric Wilson, the intended target.
Tried to kick it after it was out of bounds. He's upset.
Cedric Wilson, their leading receiver, after Eric Johnson.
Please throw the ball to Eric Johnson once. I mean, to him.
Blitz. Urlacher picked up. Dorsey throws. That was to the other tight end, Aaron Walker, and Mike Green is going to be flagged for interference. And the crowd does not like the call, obviously.
Well, because it's an automatic first down.
Pass interference, 43 defense, automatic first down.
You know, we were talking about Eric Johnson. Please throw him the ball. Well, here's why they didn't throw. Look on the right-hand side of your screen. Eric Johnson comes off the line of scrimmage, and watch what happens to him. Bink. He goes down on his knees, and then there's pass interference on the other side of the field.
Well, I didn't know about that. That's a place when you get those short routes just after 5 yards, a lot of contact.
Automatic first down for San Francisco, right on the edge of their field goal range. Barlow picks up about 3. Eric Johnson came into this game with 45 catches, number 1 among tight ends in the entire NFL, number 2 among all receivers in the entire NFL. They have thrown at him once. Terrell was the leading receiver for the Bears. He's caught one.
Think about Eric Johnson, though. Last time they played against the Jets were going to deny them getting him the football as well, so maybe people have caught on.
Well, he's averaging 8 catches a game. This one is wide of Brandon Lloyd and out of bounds. It would be 3rd and 8.
Well, this is a bootleg again by Ken Dorsey. So, and we're looking, here's Johnson. Look at this. They got the double team on him. They got a linebacker and a safety both playing him. There was no place to go to him there. But that time, Lloyd was wide open, and Dorsey threw the ball wide to his left.
It has been a struggle all night for Ken Dorsey, who started 2 or 3 games earlier this year in relief of Tim Rattay, who was out with a right forearm injury tonight. Blitz coming, sellout, and Dorsey throws. Is it on the ground or caught? They're going to say it is caught by Brandon Lloyd. And Dorsey with a big-time throw that time. Now they're talking it over.
Well. Does Lovey have the flag in his hand?
Yep, they're going to say it's a catch.
Now, here we go. Lloyd is down. His arms are underneath the ball. Now, from that angle, forget about it. You can't tell anything because they already called it a catch. It's got to be indisputable. Now, that ball's underneath. Now, the ball bounces. Now, Lovey's he has to throw the flag out.
Can you see it, though, Paul? I mean,
the only thing I'm seeing Lloyd's arms underneath the ball.
Right, but I'm just saying, I have not seen it through what we're able to look at. The ball actually visibly be on the ground.
Chicago is challenging ruling on the field that the pass was complete.
And we will find out when we come back to Soldier Field. Catch, yes or no? Trick or treat? Jerry Austin, near the end of his review of the Bears' challenge, the ruling on the field was a catch for the 49ers, and the angles we have looked at really don't show anything that you could use to overturn it, do they, Paul?
No, they do not. And I'll tell you what, Lloyd does a great job. Look at, he's got both hands underneath the ball, and then he hides the ball. So if the ball did hit the ground, there were official right there that called it. The only guy that I saw that really called it incomplete was Urlacher. And you know the problem with that is he doesn't have stripes on. And he doesn't have a flag.
Or a white hat.
They're not going to overturn this. I don't see anything that shows that they can. Watch them prove me wrong.
After reviewing the play, the ball comes in. The receiver has his arms on the ball, but it goes to the ground. The pass is incomplete.
Oh, man. No, you can't. You can't do that.
He must have gotten some different pictures than we did.
No, we got the same.
We saw them all. I know, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how you can indisputably say that that ball hits the ground. I don't see the ball. I mean, right there.
He's got both arms underneath that ball, and then when he turns over, watch this ball come up. He's got the ball in his hands. There was no way to overturn that baby.
Certainly the three of us looking at the replays couldn't see anything. Maybe he saw something that we weren't looking for. I don't know.
We were looking for the ball.
I think he had to look at it with just one eye open.
All right, here's Todd Peterson, a 50-yard try. He is hit from 48 and 51. Now one barely made it, the other hit the crossbar and went over.
And this is into a wind.
That's going to be short. That's how huge that reversal was. They were easily in field goal range, and then they miss one from 50.
Despite genetic similarities, siblings often harbor tension.
At 7:30 Eastern on ESPN, the best place to get ready for Monday Night Football. Then on ABC at 9, Jason Taylor and the Dolphins against New York, and Chad Pennington on Monday Night Football. And during the timeout, Paul made a great point. Not only do the 49ers lose the 3 points and field position, but the Bears start with great field position at their own 40 on the call that's overturned.
The Bears have to just figure out a way not to wind up 2nd down and 15.
Give it to the 8th grade.
Nope, they're going to have 1st and 15.
Blitz was getting ready to come, and somebody moved.
Number 57 of the offense, 5 yards. Still first down.
That's the second time tonight. That's the second time tonight that Olin Kreutz had illegal motion. I mean, he's got the ball, he's moving. But I'll tell you what, they're sitting that offensive line down too long.
Well, that's a rookie quarterback. That's a young quarterback. It's even a change at the quarterback position. You put a lot of pressure on the center to try and pick up the blitz, to help him out, to direct the line and get the ball.
Thomas. You know, Lovie Smith is a very soft-spoken, quiet guy who does not curse. And after penalties like that, about the strongest thing he will say is, gosh darn it.
Gee whiz.
He says it through clenched teeth. You know, he is a very rare football player.
I mean, I know what he's going through.
You know he spent a lot of time with Tony Dungy.
Yes.
I mean, that's, you see the same type of demeanor, the same type of look on the sideline. Very thoughtful, sees everything, but yet keeps very calm.
2nd and 8. He's certainly being tested in his first year as the Bears head coach. And tonight, Krenzel on the screen to Johnson. Johnson did a good job not to lose a lot of yardage. Jeff Ulbrich on coverage. Let's go to Susie.
Well, just playing off what Joe was saying about Lovie Smith, every coach is shaped by where he's been. Well, first of all, it was with Tony Dungy, where he said he learned honesty and the attention to fundamentals. You've got a plan and you stick with it. Then the total opposite, Mike Martz, he studies tendencies and says then you do the opposite, you take chances. But the two things that these other guys had in common with Lovie Smith, great family men, great character.
And Susie, he really liked both of them an awful lot. And you pick up things from everybody through the course of your career, some that you like, some that you don't like. And we've got a timeout for Krenzel with 9:56 to go in the ball game. They only have one left. 9:56 to go. Bears lead by 3. Hope Michael's enjoying the game. 9:56 to go. Bears by 3.
That's scary.
Oh.
All right, what you going to do now? You're 3rd and long again. Is David Terrell available? Number 83 in your program.
Terrell is on this side. Krenzel looking the other way. Throws underneath, just short of the first down. They need to reach midfield. Bobby Wade was very close, was pushed back, and then fought forward again.
Man, they gave him the first down.
They gave him an unbelievably generous spot. I don't know if he ever made it to the 50.
The ball has got to make it. Just take a look at this. Now, I mean, look. All right, here, Wade. Now, that ball never crossed that line. Is not totally true, but the ball never did cross.
That's close.
But look where they marked it. They marked it almost at the 49-yard line. He never crossed the 50.
That can be challenged as well, but they will not.
Ooh.
And the A train is derailed after a loss of 2. Bryant Young, who has been all over the place tonight, several tackles and 2 sacks.
Well, he's made tackles for losses, and then he's also had 2 sacks. Look at this, Brian Young. We're talking about a guy who's played 11 years. We're in the 4th quarter with 9 minutes to go, and he's playing like it's first down.
And he has taken Rex Tucker to school over there, number 64.
Well, he said the other night when we talked to him, this team has a fighting spirit, even in 1-5. They are not going to come out and lay down for anybody. But certainly he has lived up to that. Now they show blitz. Thomas trying to run through it, and he's wrapped up by Derek Smith, middle linebacker, who's missed a couple of games with a bad ankle. And just delighted to get back.
Wasn't he exciting talking to him yesterday, Derek Smith, about his attitude and just to get back? He said, I'll just simplify it, folks. He said, I love it. I love it. I love being out there. I just got to be there.
And he feels every game he's being evaluated, so he's going to play his heart out. A lot of credit to Dennis Erickson. His football team, they've been lost a lot of people. They're 1-5, but boy, they have played hard. And Lovie Smith's club's done the same thing. Their record is not indicative of how hard these guys have played.
There you are, back at 3rd and 14 again.
Of course, the Bears.
Krenzel straight back to throw. Throws the out, incomplete, intended for Berrien, who he hit on the first series for a 49-yard touchdown. And right now, neither quarterback able to distinguish themselves.
Well, Craig Krenzel hasn't had a chance because he's been in 3rd and long the entire second half. Ken Dorsey has had some opportunities, but I think you have to give credit to the Bear defense. Their line's not giving him a chance to be able to drop back and throw the football. But Terry Shea, the offensive coordinator of the Bears, just got to be pulling his hair out. And you can't make 3rd and 14s.
Battle waits near his 10. Statistically, the Bears have dominated this game, 242 yards to 114. Battle takes a chance and picks up a few yards for his ball club. Gets a 5-yard return out to the 25.
Let's talk about better. When someone says something.
Here was our earlier question. Who's the mid-season NFL MVP? That's our Sunday stud question of the night. Those were your choices. Brady, Culpepper, Leftwich, Manning, and McNabb. Surprise, all quarterbacks. And Dante Culpepper at 45.4% is your winner. I'm a little stunned that Peyton Manning is at 9.4% after 22 touchdown passes and 4 picks.
Look at the number of votes. Almost 200,000 people voted. And thank you.
7:43 to go in this game. 49ers down by a field goal. And a nice catch as McWhorter makes the tackle on Brandon Lloyd. Somehow Ken Dorsey fitted in there for 18 yards.
And this ball was thrown, whether Dorsey had intended on this happening or not, but this ball was thrown in only place that Lloyd can catch the ball.
Well, what you're seeing, Paul, is the strength of Dorsey's arm. It's just not that strong. He can't put it up high. Good job by Brandon Lloyd going down and getting the ball.
From the 42. Well, just nothing on the ground for Barlow.
Well, one thing you cannot do against the Chicago Bears. Yeah, that little stutter step. Once you do that, it's over.
Brandon Lloyd's an interesting situation. He came here and sort of was given the mantle of Terrell Owens. He had to take over for Terrell Owens. He's a young guy, hasn't really earned his stripes yet. but he seems to be playing a little bit better, a little more solid, and learning that you got to earn the right to be called a star in this league.
Clock running, 6:35 to go. Dorsey throws underneath. That'll be a first down at the Bears' 47-yard line. Lloyd makes another catch.
You know what? They got to get him a mitt.
No, let me just say something. The one thing about Dorsey, here's Lloyd catching the ball. The one thing about Dorsey's throw, you will never get any yards after catch.
No,
because you're already on the
short hop.
It's like taking he's like a third baseman. Everything is short hopped and trying to bring every throw, even the one that was missed down here.
Joe, I always think about Jerry Rice and all the yardage he had was yards after catch.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have had any.
No.
Both wide receivers to the near side. And now Dorsey goes to Barlow out of the backfield. Barlow down to the 38-yard line, very close to being in field goal range again. Let's go to Susie.
Well, here's a huge compliment for Brandon Lloyd. I'm talking to Curtis Conway, 12-year veteran before the game. He tells me the thing he's most excited about tonight is watching Brandon Lloyd, watch him break out, watch him get better. He said he has so much ability, and it's like having your kid brother out there because he's always having fun while he's doing it.
And Susie, that's one of the odd things. Curtis Conway was the second leading receiver on this team behind Eric Johnson. As far as I know, they have not thrown the ball to Curtis Conway at all, and they've thrown it toward Eric Johnson once all night long.
And Brandon Lloyd is like he's the only receiver out there. But take a look at what this offense has lost in one simple year. Jeff Garcia's moved on to Cleveland. That's 25 touchdowns. Terrell Owens obviously gone to Philly. That's 9 touchdowns. Ty Streets had 7. And then Garrison Hurst, look at the 3 there. That's a lot of touchdowns out of your offense.
Wilson is the motion man. Dorsey, here comes the blitz. He unloads. Barlow makes the catch and is dragged down immediately. They're going to lose about 4 yards on that as Urlacher makes the tackle.
Well, Michael Haynes almost nailed the quarterback. I mean, he was there, number 97, coming off the right-hand side of the screen. Look at this. They never even slowed him down.
Well, nice job by Dorsey just to get rid of it.
He did. Here he is, Michael Haynes again, number 97. Look, I mean, when you don't block anybody, that's Scott Gregg. He never even slowed him down.
When you're an offensive lineman and you drop your head, you're dead.
Dorsey short set and throws, and it's intercepted. Nathan Vasher, the backup corner with a pick. Vasher with blockers in front. He'll go for the touchdown, Chicago Bears. 71-yard return.
Really, that is one of the things that happens to you when you keep going to the same guy over and over and over again, and they just sit there and wait on you. Nathan Vasher just waited.
If you can't throw the ball down the field and get defensive backs to back up, you're absolutely right, Paul. He just sits on this route.
Nathan Vasher, the all-time career leader in interceptions at the University of Texas, gets his second as a pro and goes 71 yards for a touchdown to give the Chicago Bears a 9-point lead. Edinger will try to make it 10. And the 49ers are going to challenge, I believe.
They want to know if he possibly was down because he makes the interception.
Challenging the ruling on the field that the player was not down by contact.
Well, based on the last one that was challenged and reversed, why not?
They want to know when he intercepts the ball, was he down by contact?
And we'll take a look and see, because remember, he lunges. Now, does he have possession when he goes to the ground?